Good morning, sir. Good morning, teammates. We are the Group 5 from DepEd 2A, and today me and my teammates will discuss about the inclusive education as strategy for increasing participation rate of children. I am Mabel J. Shasan, and I am the first reporter of this topic. Shall we proceed? 1. Special education in the Philippines has only served 2% of the targeted 2.2 million children with disabilities in the country who live without access to a basic human right, which is the right to education. Most of these children live in rural and flung areas whose parents need to be aware of educational opportunities that these children could avail of. Number 2. The Department of Education, or DepEd, has organized the urgency of this problem and therefore guarantees the right for these children to receive appropriate education within the regular for inclusive classroom setting. Inclusive education embraces the philosophy of accepting all children regardless of race, size, shape, color, ability, or disability with support from school, staff, students, parents, and the community. Number 3. A comprehensive inclusive program for children with special needs has the following components. A. Child Find. This is locating where these children are taught the family mapping survey, advocacy campaigns, and networking with local health workers. The children with special needs who are not in school shall be listed using enclosure number 1. These children shall be visited by special education or SPED teachers, and parents should be convinced to enroll their children in SPED centers or schools nearest their home. Letter B. Assessment. This is the continuous process of identifying the strengths and weaknesses of the children through the use of formal and informal tools for proper program grade placement. Existing SPED centers in the division shall assist regular schools in the assessment process. Letter C. Program options. Regular schools with or without trained SPED teachers shall be provided educational services to children with special needs. These schools shall access educational services from SPED centers or SPED trained teachers. The first program option that shall be organized for these children is a self-contained class for children with similar disabilities which can be monograde or multi-grade handled by a trained SPED teacher. The second option is inclusion or placement of the child with disabilities in general education or regular class where he or she learns with his or her peers under a regular teacher and or SPED trained teachers who addresses the child's needs. The third option is a resource from program where the child with disabilities shall be pulled out from the general education or regular class and shall report to a SPED teacher who provides small group or one-on-one instruction and or appropriate interventions for these children. Next reporter, please.
Good day, everyone. My name is Bea Abigail Botad. Curriculum modification is a generic term for an educational method that allows students with special needs to have easier access to knowledge and resources. Curriculum modification is a fundamental approach for responding to the needs of students, particularly those who have a variety of learning styles. Any youngsters who are struggling to participate can benefit from these modifications. Curriculum modification refers to the changes made to curriculum by educators to make it more accessible to students with special needs. When developing the class technique, topic, and assessment, instructors must consider the students' characteristics. The purpose is to make the curriculum more accessible to students with learning disabilities. Parents' involvement. We know that when parents and teachers work together to support students' learning as well as their social and emotional needs, students perform better in school. This not only helps students learn to achieve academically, but it also helps students to create strong peer relationships. Parental participation is important since it improves students' educational success. Students feel more motivated in class when their parents and teachers communicate more. Their self-esteem and classroom attitude improve as a result. District and school-based special education, our regular teachers, administrators, and parents need to collaboratively develop and facilitate the most effective program for children with disabilities. This program shall be included in the School Improvement Plan or SIP. To realize the successful implementation of inclusive education in the schools, the duties and responsibilities of DepEd officials are defined in Enclosure Number 2. Officials at the division, region, and central offices shall provide the needed training on inclusive education to administrators, teachers, and other school staff, regularly monitor the implementation of the program, and provide the corresponding technical assistance needed and conduct evaluation to determine the effectiveness of the program and improve its implementation. Immediate dissemination of and in compliance with this order is directed. Inclusive education allows students with special needs to enter ordinary class with students who are quoted as regular but follow specific curriculum. It has policy that all disabled children should be accepted without restriction in all educational programs meant for all children. Children with special needs in inclusive education includes those who have learning disability, intellectual disability, visual impairment, traumatic brain injury, autism, multiple disabilities, language disorder, deafness blindness, dyslexia, developmental delay, autistic spectrum disorder, dyscalculia, and dysgraphia.
Good day everyone, I am Luigi de la Serna from DepEd 2A. Rules of DepEd official in the implementation of inclusive education. Initial phase. The inclusive education is accepted the school, give a time to prepare and all things needed in all school to make an inclusive education successful. First, rule of the administrator. According to this DECS Order Number 26 Series of 1997, that all institutional schools having a SPED programs and inclusive education include in the mission, vision, and improvement plan of the school. Network with the division supervisor in charge must support all the leakage of the special education. The administrator, the one to manage the changes that the source of important information, they must conduct PTCA meeting to discuss on how to support the program. Second, rules of the regular teacher. The regular teacher accept all the idea about inclusive education. They must support the school and build a good relationship with the SPED teacher. Number 3, rules of the SPED teacher. The SPED teacher welcome the regular teacher who having important information about the inclusive education, accept a broader rule, and generalize all special in the inclusive education. Fourth, roles of non-teaching personnel. The non-teaching personnel always act and support to establish the inclusive education on every school, attend meeting, forum that the school conducted. 5. Rules of parents and rules of parents. The parents attend the meeting called by the school to be aware about inclusive education and participate all program and support the plan of the school in all about the inclusions to make inclusive education successful. Thank you.
Hello, so I am Stephanie Paparan, and this time let's tackle about transitional phase. So transitional phase is this cover the period covering initial meetings done by the school personnel and other activities prior to the implementation of the inclusion program proper. So the first rule of this is the rule of the administrator. So the role of the administrator is to facilitate the acceptance of the children with special needs in school. They are also the one who will be going to conduct classroom observation, conduct meetings, and to provide direction on the improvement of the program. And the second one is we have the rule of the regular teachers. The regular teachers is the one who will going to conduct the assessment of the children who is with special needs, and they need to collaborate with their fellow teachers to make it happen. The next one, or the third one, is the rule of the SPED teacher, or the SPED teacher. The role of the SPED teacher is the one who provides assistance, which they assist the regular teachers in assessing behavioral characteristic and academic development of children who has special needs, and they also measure the environmental situation of the school, such as the social, interpersonal, and physical aspect. And the fourth one is the rule of the non-teaching. So the role of the non-teaching is they provide supports to the implementation of the inclusive education program. So they are the one who assist and give support. And the last one is the role of the parents. So the role of the parents is especially to give support to their children, moral and physical. They also provide support to the developmental progress of CSNs. And that's all for the transitional phase. Thank you.
Everyone, I am Nara Julian Piloha, and I will be discussing to you the inclusion phase. So what is inclusion phase? This is the period when children with special needs are admitted in the regular class. It is also where all students entitlement to a learning experience that respects diversity, enables participation, removes barriers, and anticipates and considers a variety of learning needs and preferences. So what are the roles of the administrators in the inclusion phase? First, it observes the policy that a maximum of 2 children with mild disability shall be included in a regular class, while only 1 severely or moderately disabled shall be included in a regular class. Administrators conducts in-service trainings on curriculum modification, teaching strategies, behavior management and modification, classroom management, preparation of instructional materials, and others. Administrators plans programs and activities where regular and special children can work and perform together. Administrators also monitors the services rendered by regular and special children teachers, other school personnel, and parents, and commend their support and dedication. Administrators also establishes linkages with government and non-government agencies for additional resources and support of the implementation of the program. Next is the roles of the regular teachers. So what are their roles? They welcome the students as official enrollees in the regular class. They facilitate the implementation of inclusive education programs, or IEP. Regular teachers also coordinates with the SPED teachers for needed modification of the curriculum. They model appropriate ways of developing relationships with children with special needs. They facilitate the development of appropriate interactions and social relations with students. The regular teachers help secure special equipment and materials. Lastly, the roles of SPED teachers. What are the roles of SPED teachers? They provide continuing support to the inclusive education program. They provide technical assistance in the use of appropriate materials and equipment. They prepare checklists of expected academic and behavioral outputs for monitoring. They use teaching strategies and skills development activities to meet the students' need. SPED teachers provide services to the school when training is needed. And lastly, they develop individualized education program or IEP in consultation with the regular teachers, parents, and other professionals. So that is the inclusion phase and the roles of administrators, regular teachers, and SPED teachers. Thank you.